I think a lot of people who are involved in food and drink kind of end up falling into the world. It's kind of one of those wonderful things that you stumble into while you're doing a different study, a different background, and you kind of get bitten by the kind of infectiousness of being around the food and drink world. And it was very much the same for me. I actually originally started in kitchens, so grew up from a kind of household of kind of food and drink. My mum was latterly a pastry chef, and we just grew up using food as this kind of amazing social mechanism, way to get people together, have a great time, and look after the people that you loved. I loved that idea of it, but quickly felt that when I was in a kitchen, I didn't have that connection to the people I kind of wanted to make things for. So my oldest friend kind of, I think quite flippantly at the time, went, well, if you want to chat to people and work with ingredients, but do those two things in harmony, why don't you just go work in a bar? So that was, really very much the origin point of it for me. Over 20 years ago, started working in kind of a variety of bars, everything from kind of restaurant bars, fine dining, nightclubs, dive bars, hotels, the lot. I got really excited by kind of traveling around and gaining different little bits of perspective from each of those styles of venue. And then we started out doing the kind of Lion projects about 10 years ago. So Lyaness is a very different kind of space. I mean, obviously it's a super beautiful, it's a very glamorous room, but it's also a bar that does things differently. We really try to push. And that to me is the true sign of hospitality, is being able to guide people out of their comfort zone, take them to something new. And the beauty about stepping into our bars is we have these incredible teams. They're the most amazing thing within the company, and they're there to kind of help guide you to that unexpected place. So I'm going to pass you on to James Wheeler, our general manager, who's going to introduce some of our drinks.
This drink's called the Lo-Fi Hard Shake. It's one of the drinks on the current Lyaness menu, which is the British cookbook menu. Essentially, it's got the backbone of classic whiskey sour. It's based on Compass Box Artist Blend whiskey, a coconut kefir, and then it's got the backbone of a classic whiskey sour, so it's got your egg white and it's got your citrus. And then the malt and grass Amazaki is really going to sort of pull out those fruity notes from the whiskey. Abbott's bitters, which are sort of woody spiced Angostura bitters. And the garnish is going to be a butternut squash cracker. This drink is called the Blood Brown Derby. It is a twist on a classic Brown Derby cocktail. We're using our blood curacao to really sort of push the spiced sort of richness of this drink. So one of the sort of garnish elements of this drink is the vessel, so something a little bit light-hearted and fun. Splash of grapefruit juice, a splash of lime juice. And then just a super classic grapefruit and mint on the garnish.
The feeling of having the best bar in the world is, it's an unbelievable thing, but it's also not something that we would ever kind of rest on our laurels about. It's a lovely validation, because I think a lot of the work that we're trying to do is to push the boundaries. I've always been excited by, what are the arenas, what's that fringe in the space that food and drink gets to operate. And so to see that recognized in the awards that we've been very fortunate to pick up have been amazing. It's an amazing validation, but it's also kind of, I suppose, a little bit of a boost to us to kind of keep pushing on in those things. So it's something that we see as kind of a responsibility to kind of use well. How can we continue to inspire? And that's everything from kind of young bartenders. It's exciting people to kind of come into this industry of food and drink. It's our peers, it's our guests, and it's ourselves. How do we then continue to push? How do we make sure that we're using that as an opportunity to connect, do things differently, to educate, and to find new ways of working? So it's an unbelievable feeling, and it's something that I'm so incredibly proud of. The team have worked so hard, and there are so many people that have supported us to be able to get to that milestone. But to me, it's kind of just another opportunity and a pivot point to be able to then kind of build up into kind of the future.